There are five American V8 engines that experienced mechanics consider the last truly repairable engines ever mass-produced in the United States. These are not the most powerful engines. They are not the fastest. They are the engines that a competent mechanic can rebuild on a workbench with hand tools. No proprietary software, no dealer authorization, and no internet connection. As modern engines become increasingly dependent on software that can only be accessed through manufacturer-locked equipment, these five mechanical V8 engines are quietly being purchased, rebuilt, and stockpiled by the people who understand engines best. This video documents exactly which five engines they are hoarding, why each one represents the peak of repairable American engineering, and why the supply of clean examples is shrinking every single year. Pay attention to the design details in this video, because the reason mechanics value these engines is not nostalgia. It is the specific mechanical architecture that modern emissions and software requirements have made impossible to reproduce. First, the concept that explains the entire list. There's a point in automotive history that engineers privately refer to as the mechanical ceiling. It is the moment when engine design reached maximum reliability and repairability, just before software integration became mandatory. Before this point, engines were too primitive, lacking the fuel injection and engine management that made them efficient and durable. After this point, engines became dependent on electronic control units, sensors, and software that cannot be serviced without manufacturer-locked equipment. The engines that exist at the mechanical ceiling are the ones that combine modern reliability with complete mechanical serviceability. All five engines in this video sit at that ceiling. None of them require software to run. None of them can be disabled by a corporate server. None of them will ever be impossible to repair, as long as a competent mechanic and basic parts exist. Here are the five American V8 engines mechanics are hoarding. Number 1. The Chevrolet Small Block 350, specifically the L31 Vortec version, produced from 1996 through 2003. The Chevrolet Small Block V8 is the most produced engine in automotive history. Between 1955 and 2011, General Motors built over 100 million small block V8 engines. The 350 cubic inch version, displacing 5.7 liters, was introduced in 1967 in the Chevrolet Camaro and went on to power Corvettes, Caprices, Impalas, pickup trucks, work vans, boats, and industrial equipment. Ward's Auto World named it one of the 10 best engines of the 20th century. The final variant, the L31 Vortec, combined the proven cast-iron small block architecture with improved cylinder head design and central port fuel injection. It produced 255 horsepower in truck applications and was known to exceed 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. The engine can be completely rebuilt with parts available at any auto parts retailer in the country. Aftermarket support is the largest of any engine ever built. A mechanic who owns a small block 350 owns an engine that will never lack parts, never lack documentation, and never require a dealer to repair. This is why it is the first engine on the hoarding list. Number 2. The Ford 5.0-liter Windsor Vive 8. The 302 cubic inch engine produced from 1968 through 2001. The 5.00 Windsor is Ford's answer to the small block Chevrolet. It powered the Fox Body Mustang, the F-150 pickup, the Bronco, the Crown Victoria in early years, and countless other Ford vehicles across 3 decades. The engine uses a cast-iron block, a push-rod valvetrain, and from 1986 onward, sequential electronic fuel injection that is simple enough to diagnose with a basic scan tool. The 5.0 became one of the most popular engines for performance modification in American history because of its mechanical simplicity and abundant aftermarket support. Examples exceeding 250,000 miles are common. The engine is light, compact, and can be rebuilt by any competent mechanic. Ford discontinued the pushrod 5.0 in favor of the modular overhead cam engine family, but the Windsor remains one of the most serviceable V8 engines ever produced. Mechanics hoard these because the combination of performance potential and mechanical simplicity has never been matched by a modern engine. Hold on, because the next engine on this list is the one that quietly powered more high-mileage American vehicles than any other engine of its era. Number 3. The Ford 4.6-liter modular V8, the two-valve version produced from 1991 through 2011. This is the engine that powered the Crown Victoria, the Lincoln Town Car, the Mercury Grand Marquis, and the F-150 for 2 decades. The two-valve 4.6 is one of the most reliable engines Ford has ever produced. Police departments ran these engines in Crown Victoria Interceptors past 300,000 miles in continuous patrol service. Taxi fleets ran them around the clock for years. The engine uses an aluminum or iron block depending on application, a single overhead camshaft per cylinder bank, and a timing chain rather than a timing belt, eliminating the scheduled belt replacement that plagues many overhead cam engines. The two-valve 4.6 is not powerful by modern standards, producing between 200 and 240 horsepower depending on application. But it is extraordinarily durable. Mechanics value it because it powers the Panther platform vehicles, the Crown Victoria, the Town Car, and the Grand Marquis that represent the last simple, full-size American sedans. As those vehicles age, clean 4.6 engines become valuable for keeping the platform alive. Now pay attention, because the next engine bridges the gap between old mechanical simplicity and modern reliability in a way no other engine on this list does. Number 4. The General Motors LS-based 5.3-liter V8, the LM7, produced from 1999 through 2007. The LS engine family represents the evolution of the small block concept into the modern era while retaining mechanical serviceability. The 5.3-liter LM7 powered Silverados, Tahoes, Suburbans, and countless other GM trucks and SUVs. It uses an iron block with aluminum cylinder heads, a push-rod valvetrain, and an architecture that has become the single most popular engine swap in the world. The LS 5.3 is known for exceeding 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. The early LM7 version, before the addition of active fuel management cylinder deactivation in later years, is particularly prized because it lacks the cylinder deactivation system that causes problems in higher mileage examples. Mechanics hoard the early LS 5.3 because it combines modern fuel efficiency and reliability with the same mechanical serviceability as the original small block. It can be rebuilt, modified, and swapped into virtually anything. It is the bridge between the mechanical ceiling and the modern era. But this is not even the most significant engine on this list, because the final engine is the one mechanics consider the single most overbuilt American V8 of its time. Number 5, the Chrysler 5.9-liter Magnum 5.8, the 360 cubic inch engine produced from 1993 through 2003. The 5.9 Magnum powered Dodge Ram pickups, Durangos, and the Dodge truck lineup throughout the 1990s. The engine is a development of the legendary Chrysler LA engine architecture that dates to the 1960s. The Magnum version added sequential multi-port fuel injection and improved cylinder heads while retaining the overbuilt bottom end that made Chrysler 5.8 engines famous for durability. The 5.9 Magnum produced 245 horsepower and 335 foot-pounds of torque, but its real strength was its ability to absorb abuse. The engine was used in heavy-duty truck applications, towing applications, and commercial service. Examples exceeding 300,000 miles are documented. The 5.9 Magnum is mechanically simple, easy to service, and supported by extensive aftermarket parts availability. Mechanics hoard it because it represents the last simple Chrysler V8 before the company moved to the Hemi architecture and the increasing electronic complexity that followed. But this is not even the most significant detail about these 5 engines, because there is one factor that connects all of them in a way that modern engines cannot replicate. None of these 5 engines require software to operate or repair. Each one uses mechanical or simple electronic fuel injection that any competent mechanic can diagnose without manufacturer-locked equipment. None of them have cylinder deactivation systems that fail at high mileage, with the exception of later variants that mechanics specifically avoid. None of them require a dealer to perform major repairs. None of them can be disabled by a software update, a server outage, or a manufacturer decision. Each one can be completely rebuilt on a workbench with hand tools and parts available at any auto parts retailer in the country. This is the mechanical ceiling. These engines represent the precise moment when American engine design reached maximum reliability and repairability, before software dependency made engines impossible to service independently. Modern engines cannot replicate this. Current emissions regulations require complex electronic engine management, multiple sensors, exhaust gas recirculation systems, and software-controlled fuel injection that cannot function without electronic control units. Current manufacturers lock diagnostic access behind proprietary equipment that independent mechanics cannot legally access for certain repairs. Current engines include cylinder deactivation, variable valve timing, turbocharging, and direct injection systems that add complexity and reduce serviceability. A modern engine that fails at high mileage often costs more to repair than the vehicle is worth because the repair requires dealer equipment and proprietary parts. The 5 engines in this video have none of these limitations. The market reflects this understanding. Rebuilt examples of the small block 350, the 5.0 Windsor, the 4.6 Modular, the LS 5.3, and the 5.9 Magnum are increasing in value. Crate versions and remanufactured long blocks sell quickly. Core engines suitable for rebuilding are being purchased and stored by mechanics who understand that the supply is fixed. Every example destroyed by neglect or scrapped for metal reduces the available pool permanently. As the vehicles that originally carried these engines age out of service, the engines themselves become the valuable component, prized for swaps, rebuilds, and keeping older vehicles running. The mechanics buying these engines are not collectors. They are professionals who understand that the era of the repairable engine is ending. They are acquiring the last engines that belong to the owner rather than the manufacturer, the engines that can be serviced in a home garage, the engines that will run for decades with basic maintenance, the engines that no software update can disable, and no corporate decision can render unrepairable. These 5 American V8 engines represent the mechanical ceiling, the peak of repairable engineering, and the people who understand engines best are quietly making sure they own examples before the supply runs out. Before the next video, one question. Which of these 5 engines have you owned or worked on? The small block 350, the 5.0 Windsor, the 4.6 Modular, the LS 5.3, the 5.9 Magnum. What did you put it in, and how many miles did it last? Leave it in the comments below.